Hello everyone, this is JTB, welcome to my NG2 survival commentary series, and this is just for the True Dragon Sword at first, my favourite weapon. And I just want to try and give a few tips and tricks on survival about getting higher scores and obviously surviving longer. Now for the first wave, you want to just try and focus on getting a really high combo to get your green essence to spawn. There's a few guides over on Iberian's NG Realm about green essence that go into detail, but all you really need to know from the start is that if you get your combo to over 20 hits, you significantly increase the chance of getting a green essence, because you only will get yellow or green when you get your combo that high. So the Dragon Sword is really easy to do that with. You just keep doing the XY, XXX shurikens, on landing XY, XXX shurikens, and that builds up your combo really quite fast. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do for this first set of ninjas. You really want to try and get your ×5 multiplier out of this first set of ninjas, otherwise you might as well just restart, because the later waves I think are kind of designed that you've got your multiplier already. And that's one thing that you should always try and do. Make sure you know when the final enemy of the wave is, when you're killing the very final enemy, and just juggle him so you can stagger your essence and obviously start the subsequent wave with the UT. Now that slight pause there was just me changing to Windmill Shuriken. And there's a few things that you really want to do on survival to maximise points. That UT there is a pretty good example of using the Windmill Shuriken instead of just regular UTs. That UT I think got over 100,000 points just from one UT, and it takes a couple of seconds, whereas the actual weapon UTs take a lot longer. And I highly recommend going to Iberian's NG Realm and checking out the Green Essence FAQs and that, and a few people, including myself, have written some survival FAQs for different weapons. And because there's a lot to describe, and I don't know if I'll fit it all in one video. But anyway, for this wave, this is one of the the wave containing the most points, sorry, in survival. It's been a while since I've done commentary, so it's a bit shit at the moment. Sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, just try and get as many instant kill bonuses and your killing spree bonuses, and be careful on shuriken spam as well, because in the main game, throwing shurikens to stun enemies is really good. But one of the things it will do in survival is it will rob you of your instant kill bonus and killing sprees if your combo gets broken. If you can keep your combo going, then that doesn't really matter. But if your combo gets interrupted and you say hit a couple of enemies with shurikens or anything like that, then that's 30,000 for each killing spree and instant kill bonus you're going to lose. So that's a total of 60,000 points you'll lose just for accidentally hitting a couple of enemies. And the main thing I wanted to try and cover in this video is keeping your karma multiplier alive. It's a very big topic for debate on survival, how it's like completely luck based about, if you don't get green essence, you're not going to get a decent score. And that's not an entirely invalid statement, but there are definitely ways you can, definitely increase your chances of getting green essence. The main one is your combo. Your green essence multiplier lives as your combo does. If you are never really getting high combos when you've got essence, when you've got a multiplier, sorry, you're not going to keep it, because you'll probably just keep getting yellows and blues, because you're always going to get your health whittled down survival. So keeping a really high combo is really, really important if you need green essence. And there's also keeping track of your green essence. One green essence orb lasts for 30 seconds, but there is a cap on how many you can get. So if you killed, say, 10 ninjas at the same time, and they gave you 10 green essence, you wouldn't get like 5 solid minutes of green essence time. Like, it doesn't work like that. So anyway, as I said, you can go to Iberians and check that out. And for this first wave, the mentor wave, you can really be quite reckless. As you can see, I'm not really trying to focus on not getting hit. I'm trying to focus on getting points. UTs, Windmill Shuriken UTs to OTs, keep my combo high every now and then. You want to try and get a pattern going of, say, a UT, Flying Swallow to stun enemies, and then kind of, farm some hits, and then use the staggered essence for more UTs, because then, if all goes well, you constantly keep your multiplier going, and then you get a lot more points throughout the whole run. Now, kind of neglected talking about the enemy waves, sorry about that. But this is one of the biggest waves biggest things, to focus on. If you get a 5 times multiplier for the Garja and Resetsu wave, always go for the Resetsu first. That True Dragon Sword UT, if you get the whole thing on him, it will virtually kill him and usually puts him to OT status. And the power in the True Dragon Sword UT is the final combo. And there's a good example of me getting greedy though. You can be reckless and go for points, but if you do that too much, you'll obviously get hit. Now for the pillbugs, I was trying to flying swallow through a few of them to get a lot of them hit and then finish off with Windmill Shuriken, but it really wasn't working, so I just kind of abandoned that and just went with the Windmill Shuriken. But with these, you want to kind of treat this as a replenishment wave, because obviously they're not that hard to kill. Never let your combo get above 20, and try and get, like, you know, as much blue and green essence as you can out of these to replenish your health and keep your combo high. Now the next wave is probably viewed as probably the hardest wave in all of survival. It's an entire wave of nothing but the fiend ninja dogs, and I actually really like fighting them. Once you kind of suss out their patterns, they're really a fun enemy to fight, because they're kind of like IS ninjas, just, you know, with 4 legs. But anyway, yeah, with this wave it's really important to save one till last, and then swap over to your incendiaries, and then obviously stick in with one, and then you can prepare for the next wave with a UT. Now there's a couple of things you really want to do with the dog waves. Is never do any attacks that will leave you open. Never do any attacks that have got really long recovery frames, like the Helm Splitter or any kind of XXX combos. Any combos that end in X usually have really long recovery frames. And that was me again swapping to the Windmill Shuriken. Keep your UTs up as often as you can here, and you can get a really high combo going on the Fiend dogs if you don't get an unfortunate IS in you or anything. And if they ever grab you, make sure you hammer the face buttons, because their grabs can do a hell of a lot of damage. And the combo you should, if UT chain ever gets broken, mine doesn't really get broken that much here. But if you ever find yourself without UTs and you really don't want to use your Nimpo, because in the first wave it's really important to keep at least one Nimpo for Genshin. So use the Flying Swallow and just on landing either XY, XXX on landing, Gleaming Blade, and if you do the in-air XXX, make sure you throw the Windmill Shuriken like I do there, and then it always knocks that one very far away from you, and it like significantly reduces the chance of your on-landing attack getting interrupted. Because if that happens on the Dogs wave, they can seriously mess you up and end a very good run in almost instantly. And this is another pretty hard wave, because, you know, starting with a UT doesn't really do much good if they don't spawn next to you, in which case they didn't. But the mech, the like Fiend mech, is definitely your top priority in this wave. You definitely want to take him out first, if at all possible. That like stomping attack he does insane damage. So always try and get an Izuna drop or guillotine throw or UT, anything that's got iframes, so you don't get hit by that. And the mages themselves can be a real pain in the arse. So as long as you're not surrounded, use the Izuna drop to take them out real quick. If you're surrounded by mages, I definitely wouldn't recommend using the Izuna drop. Use something like a Flying Swallow on landing, XX. Forward YY works really good, because the final sweep attack floors them a lot, and then you can just Fly and Swallow again and get the instant kills. It's worth mentioning, on man-sized enemies like ninjas, mages, that kind of stuff, if they're on the floor, whether they're delimbed or not, if you can actually nail a Flying Swallow with them floored, you'll just cut them in half or cut their head off all the time. So if you guillotine throw one into a wall but don't kill him, and you can kind of get the following up Flying Swallow, always make sure you do that, because then that'll take them out instantly. Now that was a pretty bad place to prepare my UT there, because I was right next to a pillar. But you know, these don't let me get my starting UT. But the ninjas themselves aren't really that much of a problem in this wave. It's the dragon that can really mess you up, because he can kind of just come out of nowhere and get a combo on you or a grapple, and then obviously that can get you stuck with ISs, and then you lose a lot of health. So he's definitely what you want to try and get rid of first. If you have to use Nimpo for this wave, make sure you use the Windblade's Nimpo, because you can take out a lot of ninjas with that, and then obviously you might very well get another Nimpo or something like that. But just one thing, it's really hard to try and keep up commentating on survival because it's so fast. But yeah, the ninjas themselves, once you've got one on his own, again, try and build up a combo if you're noticing you haven't got a lot of time left on your green essence. Now I definitely should have used like Avoid Nimpo there and not absorb that essence, and then just got the free Nimpo. But one thing as well, if you don't check out the FAQs on Iberians, it's really worth like kind of getting a mental note in your head of how long you've got on your green essence timer. A little tip for that, by the way, if you ever get nailed with that grapple, just hammer up on the D-pad, and if you're trying to go into a start menu, you'll cancel the grapple out, and they won't really get many. It won't do much damage to you.